Do you remember the Shane Churla elbow Pavel put on him in the playoffs in '94?
Yeah, Churla kind of cheap shotted Pavel along the boards and hit him low, and Pavel had enough, and
Yeah.
he got him back.
Yeah,
Thank God this is not. Thank God that didn't happen nowadays. Pavel will be out for the remainder of the playoffs. He didn't even get a suspension for that.
yeah. We
Thank
had
God Brian Burke was in charge of discipline in those days. He gave us a break.
yeah, exactly. He would literally been done for the year. We had a similar story. We had Tim Hunter on here, and he was telling us about Rob Ray and how he was going after Pavel. I think you were in this game as well. He kept going after Pavel, and Pavel finally had enough. Like, you're a joke, get away from me, whatever. And Hunter finally said, I'm stepped on the ice. So they step on the ice. They're going at it. Refs kick them out. There's like 30 seconds left in the game. Well, Hunter decides he's going to go down to the tunnel right away, goes right over to the Buffalo, hides behind the screen, and Rob Ray's giving it to the ref still. So Rob Ray comes out, and Hunter said he hit him so hard, put him on the ground, and they were rolling around, wrestling underneath the bleachers.
Yeah, I remember that. It was funny. Hunt beat the shit out of Ray behind the benches. We were all looking back, see what was going on, and we had a good laugh after the game.
Yeah, Pat Quinn grabbed him by the shoulder.
Yeah.
He told us Patty Quinn broke it up. I guess he heard the voice and he heard the big mitts on his shoulder, and he said, "You're done, boys. You're done." And then that was it. They just split up. So we've got them both. We got them both telling that same story too. So
that was pretty cool.
What's your favorite piece of sports memorabilia that you have from yourself or playing days?
A picture from the 93-94 team. We were so close, and we all came together. That was the year I had a career year. Pavel scored 60 goals that year. Trevor had a huge year. Cliffy had a big year. Jeff Gordonell, Dave, Jeff Brown, all the guys, Nathan Lafayette, everybody had career years, and we really came together in the playoffs and created something special. And we were one game away from winning the Stanley Cup, one goal. So it was something that we'll never forget. We got together a few years back. The Aquilini family brought the 94 team back together when they had the game at GM Place against Ottawa Senators, I think it was. They played an outdoor game, and they brought us together, and it was so much fun meeting up with the guys.
Oh, the Heritage Classic.
The Heritage Classic, yes.
So what do you think of that hoser, Mark Messier?
Well, I don't want to talk too much about him, but he wasn't one of my favorites. We'll put it that way.
That's fair enough. What was it? Okay, he came and he just changed the atmosphere in the room, or?
Yeah, well, what happened sometimes with players when they've been around a long time, they start to think that they're smarter than a coach and they're smarter than GM, and he wanted to bring his boys in that he played with before, and he wanted his coach, which was Keenan. That's what he did. So they ended up having to trade all of us to get all the guys he wanted, and that's what he did his first year. And then Brian Burke came in and put him in his place. Said, "I'm the only thing he wants from Mark Messier is for him to play." So
yeah. And he didn't do that here. He never. I don't think he played here. We hate him. In 97-98, it was a sad day for us. Obviously, you getting traded to the Islanders for Jason Strudwick.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun on the island. They brought me in to be a veteran guy, to show the young guys how to be pros, and I had a lot of fun. Roberto Luongo was there, and so many young guys that ended up having good careers in the NHL. Eric Brewer, to name a few, and I had a lot of fun with those young guys.
Yeah, we got a story, a Jason Strudwick story. I heard when you got traded for him. We actually had him on too, so he told us the same story. But when you got traded for him, I heard you said, I was going to get traded one day in my career, but I didn't think I was going to get traded for a nobody.
And I didn't say nobody. I said I knew I was going to get traded. I didn't think I'd get traded for someone I didn't even know his name. So So he came at me the first shift that I gave. He says, "Hi, my name is Jason Strudway." We ended up fighting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. He's a really good guy too. I'm sure you know that, obviously.
Yeah, he is. I did his show there, and we had a lot of fun.
And you ended up playing with Linden also in Islanders, right?
Yeah, Trevor was there. He was there for a year, and then he got traded the next year to Montreal.
Just
and,
like you.
I went to Philadelphia, and then we ended up playing again together in Montreal, me and Trevor. So we played together in Vancouver, on Long Island, and in Montreal.
Wow, that's a unique stat. I didn't even know that. That's pretty interesting.
I know. He thought my stats were wrong because I'm a little older than him. Hey, you played with another guy that I interviewed, Theo Fleury. You played with him in Horseshoe Lake, right?
Yeah, Horse Lake. Yeah, we had a lot of fun that year.
Horse Lake.
Theo came in and, got himself in shape and played some good hockey. We went to the Allen Cup, and we didn't get the goaltending. We ended up losing the game, but it was a lot of fun that year.
What was it like finishing your career in Montreal, obviously, with the Canadiens? Such a historic franchise.
It was awesome. Canadian was my team growing up, and those are the teams that I cheer for, is the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks. And to play for the team we grew up cheering for was amazing. I got to see Guy Lafleur, Yvon Cournoyer, the Roadrunner, and Yvon Lambert, all those guys, Serge Chabard, and just the history, to see the pictures of the players in the dressing room and the statues outside the rink and all the Stanley Cups. It was just amazing.
And most of your 2002-2003 season you missed. I believe that was your last year. That was because you took a puck in the head and you had a concussion?
Yeah, I signed a new 3-year contract, and I got myself in the best shape of my career. I got a personal trainer, and I went to training camp and did the test. I was second fittest on the team. And we were skating in the summertime. You skate with a bunch of guys that from different teams, French guys, and we were skating, and I did a drop pass to Andre Roy, and he took a slap shot and shanked and hit me right behind the head, and I had a concussion that year, and I couldn't pass my physical, so my career ended just like that.
Yeah, I've had a few concussions too. There's nothing worse than those things. What do you think?
Yeah, it was bad. My career ended that way. But one thing I always said when I played, I don't want to stick around past my prime. I seen Probert at the end of his career getting beat up by young guys that would have never went anywhere near him when he was in his prime, and I didn't want to be a guy that got caught at the end of the career by all those young guys coming up. And they ended up like that. My career ended, but I was still in my prime.
Absolutely, you were. And you played with many great captains. What did you think made a great captain?
I think Trevor Linden was a great captain. He wasn't a rah-rah guy, but he worked hard, and he showed up every game. And he was a great role model for the young players. He worked hard. He got himself in great physical condition. He was always there. He always answered the questions from the media, and he was a great captain.
Hey, Gino, when you guys went on that run in the playoffs, who was the DJ?
I don't think we had music in those days.
They didn't have portable stereos.
We didn't have portable stereos, no.
What kind of music did you listen to before games to pump yourself up?
AC/DC.
Okay, good choice, good choice. Me too. I love that stuff. The old school Thunderstruck and TNT.
Highway to Hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Your son's name's Pavel, correct?
No, his name is Bure Odjick. He was born on November 10th. I know he was born on October 29th, which was the 10th month, the 29th day.
Wow.
So we named him Bure Odjick.
Okay.
Yeah, I screwed that question up. That was written down different. I read it wrong.
Do you keep in contact with Pavel?
Yeah, I talk to him every couple of months. He's doing good. He's in Moscow. he spends a lot of time with Poutine playing charity hockey games, and he's really enjoying retirement. He watches the Canucks play all the time. He watches the NHL, and he enjoys it. He's got a couple kids now, and he's married, and he's a middle-aged man like we are, and he's enjoying life.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him, trying to get in contact with him. I sent his wife the code to get in here so she could he could drop by and have a conversation with you.
We're dreaming because that's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's never going to happen, but it was worth a shot. You can't win the lotto if you don't play.
Yeah, that's true.